Welcome to the RavensSpace on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is RavensSpace Daily, where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news every single weekday. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the last episode of the week. Please subscribe to the RavensSpace YouTube for all your Baltimore Ravens news. Also, please follow us on our social media channels, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, to get all your news there too, and special posts that we only do there. So I want to hop into the news stories today. We have 3 great news stories and a mailbag question, and we'll hop in with the first story. And the first story talks about Terrell Suggs and where he ranks among the all-time Ravens. And I think it's a very interesting question, right? Where does Terrell Suggs rank against all-time Ravens? And I'm not going to give you my ranking because I will make a video about this later, a feature. By the way, if you haven't seen the RavensSpace feature that we released today about the top 5 players to watch, please go check it out. It's awesome. But we're going to go in, see what Terrell Suggs ranks, right? So if you guys don't know some of Terrell Suggs' measurables, he was the Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2003. He was the NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 2011, a Super Bowl champion in 2013, and a 6-time Pro Bowler. I want you guys to know that Terrell Suggs, in my opinion, is in the top 5 for sure. Now just where he ranks, right? Now, the way that the Ravens are historically built, the offense is not as good as other, parts of the team. Like, for example, in my opinion, the Ravens will have 2 Hall of Fame kickers, right? Matt Stover, and then you got Tucker, right? That's 2 Hall of Fame kickers. And we have, in my opinion, several players on defense who were great, right? But on offense, I think we have one for sure Hall of Famer, of course, John Ogden. He's in the Hall of Fame. That's why he's the for sure Hall of Famer. And another potential Hall of Famer, Marshall Yonder. But other than that, you really don't know. A player like Jamal Lewis is kind of iffy. We don't know because of how his career ended, different things like that. But Terrell Suggs is definitely a top 5 Baltimore Raven. And where would I put him at? I would say I would put him above Ogden, only because of Ogden's position. And Ogden was a good lineman. He was a great lineman. But I don't think he was ever the best lineman hands down in the league, right? And that 2013 season that Terrell Suggs had, Terrell Suggs was the best defensive player that a lot of people have ever seen. If you remember that year, Terrell Suggs was getting sacks, interceptions. He was batting balls down. He was doing what J.J. Watt was doing before J.J. Watt did it. And I think that we have to remember that he came in the league explosive. And in that season, when he won his MVP, he was just special. He was special. And I think he is definitely a top 5. I think I would put him in either number 3 or 4. We all know who the GOATs are, right? No one's going to take the spot from the other 2 players. Again, I want to put a video out, so I don't want to really say their names. But, the 2 other defensive greats who revolutionized their positions. Terrell Suggs isn't that good, but he is in the Baltimore Ravens top 5. Let me know where you think Terrell Suggs ranks for the Baltimore Ravens. The next story comes from Bleacher Report. And this is why you love Bleacher Report, because it jumps into the nerdy stuff, right? And this is the grading for the undrafted free agents. So Bleacher Report graded every undrafted free agent whole. And they graded the Baltimore Ravens a B+. And it's because they believe that the Baltimore Ravens have players that are going to make the team who are undrafted and have a contribution in the NFL. So, for example, one of the players they said is Tim Patrick, who is a lanky but fast receiver who high points the ball, which is awesome for the Ravens. You also have the fullback, Ortiz, who they really do think can make the team. And the reason is he's the only fullback on the roster. So he has a very, very good chance of making the team. And the same thing happened with Juszczyk, where we were transitioning and Juszczyk became a star player. They think that Ortiz can do the same thing. So we'll see, how they play out. But to have a B+ from an undrafted free agent haul and possibly have 2 or 3 undrafted free agents that can contribute right away would be awesome for the Ravens. It's just another example of Ozzie being Ozzie and Ozzie we trust. But it's super awesome that we got such a high grade on this. And there's a lot of people who believe that the undrafted free agents can replace the lack of free agents that we didn't go for, in the free agency period, like Alshon or anything like that, or Pierre Garçon. So we'll see. Again, what do you guys think? Who's your favorite undrafted free agent? Let me know in the comments below. And the last story of the day comes from BaltimoreRavens.com. And BaltimoreRavens.com lists the breakout candidates in 2017. So they have several names, some that you guys have heard me say before. Matt Judon is one of them. Watch out for Matt. He's going to be a playmaker, I think. He had a year under his belt. He kept on getting better as the season went on. He has a great chance to break through. You got Tavon Young. Again, in my opinion, Tavon Young was the best cornerback on the Ravens last year. I think if they gave him a chance, he would be the best cornerback on the Ravens this year. I don't know if you can call it a breakout season, because I thought last season was his breakout season. Pro Football Focus rated him a top 15 cornerback last season, right, as a rookie. So I think he's already broken out, but he's on the list. Brashard Perriman, you heard me talk about him. Brashard has all the skills, all the tools. He can do anything from a physical perspective that you want, jump, run. We just need him to put it all together, get the intangibles down, the route running, different things like that, and he'll be able to make plays for us. They have Chris Moore here, and I've talked a little bit about Chris. If Chris can step up, he has a chance. I really do think Chris may be some trouble from Campanaro, the undrafted rookies, and also a possible free agent jumping into the mix, right? If Cruz jumps into the mix, Campanaro and Chris Moore are no more, right? No pun intended, but they're not, going to get as much play time as they were otherwise hoped. And they also have Kafusi here and Correa. Injuries, derailed their play time. And we got to see who steps up. If Kafusi steps up, that's great for the defensive end position, because the Ravens need 3 great defensive ends on the field in order to contain the run. And if Correa steps up, then we have a great middle linebacker who can play side Mosley. And the way Mosley played last year, you don't have to be a great linebacker in order to succeed. Like Zach Orr, for example, a lot of Zach Orr's plays was because that, he didn't have as much of the responsibility. He was able to play free and just flow and get to the ball. So we'll see. But those are the, the breakout candidates they think. Who do you think is going to break out? If I had to pick one of these players to break out, I would pick Brashard Perriman. He's just in the perfect position. His talents and Joe Flacco's talents mesh perfectly. He'll be a starter next year. He'll get the most time. I think he has a real chance to be a superstar for the Baltimore Ravens. And that's all the questions for today. Thank you guys so much for watching the shows. I have a mailbag question, but first I want to say that I really appreciate you guys. We're coming up on 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome, and it's all because of you. We have big announcements when we get to that point, just to give you guys a forewarning. So again, please keep on watching all the videos. It's super awesome. I do it all for the Baltimore Ravens fans. And again, we're trying to cultivate the ultimate fan community of the best Baltimore Ravens fan community there is. And we're only going to keep on growing. Got a couple pieces left in my master plan of Ravens community. So we'll get those in, and please, thank you guys so much. Please keep watching. Our mailbag question of the day comes from Uriel, and Uriel asks, what do you think of our team roster? Do you think we're a Super Bowl contender? So Uriel, as of right now, a Super Bowl contender, I would say no. Again, I don't know how well Joe Flacco is going to play. Because if Joe Flacco has a great season, then we're definitely a playoff contender, right? And I'm one of the people who believes if you're in the playoffs, you have a shot. But that's it, right? If you're in the playoffs, you have a shot. And the biggest competition that we're going to have is from the Steelers and the Patriots if we want to make the Super Bowl. Now, the good thing about the Steelers is that we play them twice already in the season. So if we have to play them in the playoffs, it'll be a game that the Steelers know us and we know the Steelers, and it's just about executing, right? The Patriots always have a plan, some tricky thing. They have a game plan. I'm not going to sit here and be a hater. They have a good coach. They have a good quarterback. Some people call them the GOATs, whatever. But if any team over the last 10 years has shown that they are not afraid of the Patriots and that they'll go and punch the Patriots in the mouth, it would be us, especially in January. Especially in the postseason. So, again, we'll see where it goes. But I think that right now we're a playoff contender, not a Super Bowl contender. If Joe Flacco plays at a high level and our defense is as good as they say that they're going to be, then we do have a chance at the Super Bowl. But that's only if everything goes right, and the jury is still out on that. So again, thank you so much for your question. Please, guys, send your questions into TheRavensSpace@gmail.com. I'll put it in the description below so you can send your questions. Thank you guys so much. Again, this is Friday. We have a video coming out over the weekend. Again, we release a lot of videos this week, the most videos we've released in a week before. And this is the pace that we're going to go. 5 Ravenspace dailies. On Monday, we did a mailbag where we answer your questions about the Baltimore Ravens. I love that, so please keep on sending your questions in. On Thursday, we released the highlights. We release highlights every single week, every Thursday, and we will keep on doing that. And then on Friday, we released our second RavensSpace feature. It's a different take, and this one, it's more like a traditional video sometimes you guys see on YouTube where it's commentary over gameplay and different things like that. It's super dope. Watch it. We're hoping to, keep this pace. I'm hoping that I keep this pace where I can provide you guys great content, because this is not just for me. This is also for you. It's even more for you than it's for me, because I want to make a community with you guys. So thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.